the Gopsevic decree. I wanted to talk about that because we've all heard about it, and we talk about how maybe somebody sold our water rights and so on and so forth. And so I thought I would give the history of that. Being a lawyer, it's interesting to follow, and I'll try not to be boring like most lawyers are when they talk, or judges for that matter. And I'll try and trim it down. The way that came about, and I'll back up a few years. The first dam that was built in Lake County was around 1866, and it was built about where the dam is now at Lower Lake. And next to it was a grist mill where they could grind things based on the water that was going through the dam. And the fellow that was operating that particular dam let the water levels get really high. And so the first 2 years after that dam was built, everyone around the lakefront was flooded out 2 years in a row. So they went to court, they went down to Lower Lake, and they went before the judge, and that was Judge Southard of Lower Lake. He dismissed their lawsuit. And he said, I can't find any law that says you can do anything about this, but there is such a thing as a higher authority. Now, I'm sure what he meant was you could take it to a higher court, an appeal court or something like that. But the citizens took it a little differently. We're talking 1866 now, or 1868. So shortly thereafter, 300 armed citizens who were angry attacked the dam. They took the miller hostage, as well as several county officials. And the mob completely destroyed the dam and the grist mill. Now that's how the Gopsevic story starts, way back then, before Mr. Gopsevic even came along. So in the 1920s, Mr. Gopsevic, who happened to be the owner of Quercus Ranch, right out of Kelseyville there, he needed water to water the crops and so forth there. And he was concerned about them letting too much water out of the dam. Well, the Yolo Flood District and the people that owned the dam at that time started mining in the Grigsby Riffle. And for those of you who don't know, the Grigsby Riffle is a natural rock formation that slows down the flow of water. We don't want to have too much water, and then everybody gets flooded. And on the other hand, we don't want to have too little water in the dry years. So there has to be a medium where we don't have either of those problems. So Milos Gopsevic filed a lawsuit to get an injunction. In other words, a court order to stop that digging on the riffle because it would have drained the water way below 0 Rumsey, and people wouldn't be able to water their crops or have a farm up in Kelseyville. So after he filed that lawsuit, the two parties got together and they settled it. And so they stipulated to it in judgment, and that is what is known as the Gopsevic decree. And that states that it cannot go below 0 Rumsey. When it gets to 0 Rumsey, no more water goes out. And it can exceed, I think it's 7.56 feet, so that it doesn't get so high, 7.56, that it starts flooding everybody. So at that point, we have the right to let out the maximum amount of water that we can, but there again, it's restricted by the Grigsby Riffle. Just to give you an idea of how much water 3,700 is, the average backyard swimming pool with 2,700, you could fill it in 1 second. Now, Jerry Shaw, who's also a friend of mine, was the public works director here and a great engineer, and he figured out the mathematics on that. But fill a swimming pool in 1 second. So that decree has been in effect and is still good law today. It's been back to court a few times. It's been modified. Now they're, I won't go into the gruesome details, inch by inch here, but basically the changes are that if by a certain time of the year there hasn't been so much rainfall, Yolo cannot take any water out. So we don't end up with a winter that is dry, and then we have no water at all in the summer. So there has to be a certain amount of rainfall by March, and then another certain amount of rainfall by May, and that determines how much water they can take out. So we've gone all the way from people shooting each other down over land disputes to having rights to vote for all of the citizens in Lake County, and having a decree which is fair and provides that we don't get flooded and that we don't have too little water. Now, obviously, Mother Nature can interfere with that and change what people agree to, but at least the agreement we have will protect our rights as to other counties. So I want to thank you and giving me the honor of talking to you about these things, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Judge. And one thing I'd like to agree with you on is this whole damn thing is important. That's what he said. I didn't say it. He said it. As we come to the end here, I'm going to ask the Sweet Adelines to come up and perform again. But before they do, I would again like to thank everyone for showing up, coming out. And as I look around here, it's representative of our county. It's made up of folks that I see out here who are direct descendants of the original pioneers of Lake County. It's made up of people whose families came here over the course of time, whether it be our lake, our mountain, our clean air, or just a good place to raise your family. It's made up of people who just moved here within the last week. Whether you've been here for 150 years, your family, or you've been here a week, we're all Lake Countians. We're all lucky, by the grace of God, to be living here. There's no better place on earth. And you've all seen my grandson here. This is the 5th generation. And I'm proud to be able to live in Lake County and be able to raise my kids and my grandkids and see them grow up here. Thank you all for coming.
Brought my own.
Okay, now before we have our last performance, Hillary, Milton, and Mo will be joining us. I would like to say a couple other things here just real quick. We had a proclamation sent to us by the state legislature. Assembly member Wes Chesbro and Senator Noreen Evans presented to Lake County Sesquicentennial, celebrating 150 years of history, 1861-2011, honoring the people and pursuits that have created the district community, unique heritage of Lake County. This was a California state legislature recognition. None of this event or future events for the next 150 years. Don't fiddle with that. Would happen without our major sponsors, and I'd like to thank them right now. The Keeling Barnes Family Foundation, the Friends of Lake County Museum, Lake County News, Lake County Historical Society, Lake County Genealogical Society, the Lake County Chamber of Commerce, Lake County Publishing, Lake County Marketing Program and Lake County Museum, the City of Lakeport, Lakeport Main Street Association. This evening's sponsors are Lake County Fairgrounds for their use of the stage, Holden Reed Hay Sales for the hay bale seating, Lake Event Designs and Rentals for the chairs and vendor tables, the Kitchen Gallery and Lakeport English Inn, and our docent Lexi Firth for tonight's historic walking tour, Tony Barthel and the Featherbed Railroad for this evening's audio, Safeway for donating the balloons, Velocity Video, and Lake County News for video and live tweets. And for Hillary, Milton, and Mo for providing the temptations for my grandson. Thank you all for coming. Hillary, Milton, and Mo, thank you.
If you ever change your mind about leaving me behind, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, yeah. I'll give you jewelry and money too, but that's not all I do for you. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah. Take it, Bill. Always be your slave till I'm dead and buried in my grave. Oh, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home to me, yeah, yeah. You know I laughed when you left, but you know I only hurt myself. Ah, bring it to me, bring your sweet loving, bring it on home.